Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video, I'm going to answer a very common question that I get very frequently. People say I'm out there to buy a new television. Which one should I get? A new swanky smart television or a regular television? That is the question that I'm going to answer. And in the last couple of years, I had purchased 3 new televisions, and you'll be surprised which one I chose, and I'll answer why. It makes sense if you're on a tight budget to go with one aspect rather than a smart television. I would say if you're on a tight budget, you should go with a regular television, that is a non-smart television. Obviously, if you have a higher budget and you're spending over £1 lakh, you will obviously get a television that will have smart features. But if you're on a tight budget, there is a difference between a smart television and a normal television. You might be paying a premium of anywhere between 8 or 9,000 to about even 15 to 18,000 more compared to a smart and a non-smart television. So does it make a sense now in 2017 to go with a non-smart television? And I would say on a tight budget, if you are, it really makes sense. Because generally in the budget-oriented smart televisions, if you buy, you're not going to get a full seamless experience. Yes, it will have smart features. For example, it will have screen mirroring and some of the basic apps like YouTube, Netflix, and 1 or 2 apps. But again, it doesn't have a robust app store. But yeah, if you go with a higher end smart television, for example, that cost over 70-80,000, and many of the new Sony televisions come with the Android television, that is great because they have a proper app store. But again, we are talking about on a budget. So on a budget, I would recommend you going with a regular television that is a non-smart variant. And recently, just this year actually, I have purchased 2 televisions, and about 2.5 years ago I had purchased one more television, and all of them were non-smart television, and I've converted them to sort of a smart television, and I'll talk about the experience. The first television that I got about 2.5 years ago, that was in my old office. Here is a small clipping. If you have been following me, you'll notice that. And this is a Samsung 46-inch television. And again, this is a non-smart television. It's a LCD. And if I recall, I purchased this one for about 66,000 about 2.5 years ago. And the same variant of this television, if it was a smart one, was for about 87,000. So there was a price gap of about 21,000. And in fact, one of my cousins, actually, he bought the smart variant and I went with the non-smart variant. And what I did is I was using the Chromecast with that one, and that way I was using the smart features. Just recently I have switched instead of the Chromecast to this Amazon Fire Stick on that television, and I couldn't be happier. I'll talk about that later. And again, this year, just recently, I changed my main television that is in my hall. This is the Panasonic Shinobi Pro. And again, this is the non-smart variant that I bought. This is a 49-inch television. And again, there was a variant by Panasonic, which was the smart variant of this one. And I think so the price gap for that one was about 11,000. But again, I checked out some of the features of that smart television and I didn't find it that exciting. Hence, I went with the non-smart variant. And again, lastly, I have this one. Again, I renovated my new office, and this is the VU 32-inch television. This is a basic television. And again, this is a non-smart, and have attached the Chromecast to it. And some of the newscast and stuff that I do, you notice in the background, actually, that television is there. And for the screencasting and stuff, I use Chromecast on that. So again, I'm saving quite a bit of money by not going with the smart variants. And it's not like I'm not using them like a smart television. Using third-party apps and stuff, for example, with Chromecast, I was using them like a, smart television. But recently, I have the main television that I have now in my hall and in my old office, I have removed the Chromecast from them and I'm using them with this Amazon Fire Stick. And why I love this Amazon Fire Stick is that you get a traditional remote with this one, also voice enabled. And now you can use it like a traditional remote. With the Chromecast, you always have to use your smartphone to navigate and stuff. That's not the case with Amazon Fire TV Stick. Yes, you can use the mobile, but you don't have to. You have the full-fledged remote. And also, you can install a ton of apps actually on this Amazon Fire TV Stick. Hence, hence I'm using this a lot. And in fact, a funny incident, as I've told you, when I purchased that Samsung television about 2.5 years ago, one of my cousins bought the smart variant of that. Recently, last month he came to my house, and I was using this Fire Stick on that Samsung television, and he liked it so much that now he has also purchased this Fire TV Stick and using it on his smart television. The problem with the smart televisions is that after some time, the interface and stuff gets outdated and not all the apps are compatible. So I feel installing application like Fire TV Stick or Chromecast helps you, it doesn't get obsolete. Even if it gets obsolete, for example, Amazon Fire Stick now gets obsolete. If this one does not support 4K, but after 2-3 years, I'm pretty sure Amazon will bring a 4K version of that. So you can just remove this one and use the 4K version or whatever comes. So that way you're future proofing yourself. You're not stuck with what came with your TV. So it simply makes more sense to buy a non-smart television version if you are on a tight budget, and go with solutions like this Fire Stick or Chromecast to get that excellent smart TV experience. But there is one thing that these manufacturers do to discourage you to going for with this non-smart variants, because they make a lot more money if you're buying the smart variants. As I told you, there is a price cap. So generally in the non-smart variants, the number of HDMI ports, what I've noticed, are limited to just about 2 or a max of 3. But generally with the smart televisions, you get at least 3 or even 4 HDMI ports. So that is one thing you have to be aware of. Yes, I knew when I was buying my televisions, for example, the Panasonic Shinobi that I have, it has just 2 HDMI ports. But anyways, I was using a AVR receiver, a home theater setup, and all my HDMI inputs go via that. It has, if I recall, about 5 HDMI inputs. So I didn't require that. So that is also one more important thing that you have to keep in mind. For example, one of the HDMI ports might be used with your DTH connection like Tata Sky or whatever, and second, you can attach the Fire TV Stick or a Chromecast. But again, if you require a third option, for example, if you have a gaming console or something, then you have to keep in mind and check, if you're buying the TV, how many HDMI ports does it have. So I hope this video makes sense and helps you in buying a TV that is right in your budget. And I frankly feel if you're on a tight budget, buying a non-smart TV makes a lot more sense. And the most important thing that you can do when you're purchasing a television is concentrate on the picture quality. And generally these days, even in the mid-range budget range, you are finding good panels. For example, IPS panels are more superior compared to other TV panels. So again, I have already posted the full in-depth review for this Amazon Fire TV Stick. I'll leave the link for the same in the YouTube show notes so you can check it out. So guys, I hope this video was helpful, and if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.